So welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're locked on to the Street 909 FM. This is your Titans of Democracy with Dominic Romain and Bruce Wayne. So now it's Dominic.
Yes, sir. I wanna let me just quickly address two of the trolls on the chat. Well, boss, thing whoever the heck they name it. You wanna know if I got a banker for G? You got a banker for Dr. Rolly and the PNM because they're here every morning. They could be listening to Google Politics. They could be listening to the Underground Report. Why are you here? They love to hear about the PNM and they love to hear about Dr. Rolly. Yeah? I won't go further. I couldn't know. But now, I will spare you. And Jordan, Steve, or whoever it is, talking about Stuart Young is the minister of everything. You for real? You see, when you're dotish and you don't know your dotish is a hell of a thing, you know. There's a fundamental difference between Stuart Young serving in different ministerial positions and Watson Duke being a secretary, Watson Duke being the PSA president. You see, you need to understand, the constitution of the PSA clearly states that the position of president is a full-time position. You understand what that means? Full-time. The constitution says that. Constitution governs governs the conduct of the president. It's a full-time position for which the president is paid handsomely. You cannot have a part-time president. Okay? Because as a secretary, Mr. Duke would be based in Tobago. The PSA headquarters is based in Trinidad. Right? So when checks need to be signed and so on, Mr. Duke will be what? Boarding a private jet to fly across to Trinidad and sign check and so on. When there are meetings of the PSA executive taking place simultaneously while meetings of the THA Executive Council is taking place, or while Mr. Duke is required to be in the assembly chamber, how that working out? When he has to conduct duties as vice president of NATOC, how that working out? All of these are separate organizations. You understand? That's work. The president or the individual who's holding these positions has certain responsibilities. As an assemblyman, Watson Duke is required to attend to his constituents, right? Which means that he's supposed to have an office day where persons who live in his district have issues, they need to come and have a chat with him. And this is not a 1 hour exercise, okay? Because there are a lot of people with a lot of needs, there are a lot of people to whom promises would have been made, and these people are now looking to have their promises fulfilled. So how do you juggle all of that? Representative, assemblyman, you have to be in the assembly chamber, secretary of a division, PSA president, first vice president of NATOC, and then you have the company that you say you're not a part of. You see, well, you're quick to talk about recuse, yeah? Well, you know that word, but apparently recuse doesn't apply to everybody. Eh? That's what's wrong with this country. You all support foolishness, right? Dotishness. When is the party? So if it's the party, all you don't like, all you think, oh, they this and they that. But the shoe is now on the other foot. Well, you have no problem with that. That making sense to you, right? Okay. Well, you're complaining about, oh, Stuart Young is the minister, everything, and he this and he that. But you have no problem. So you have a problem with that. But you have no problem with Watson Duke holding all of these hats. And therefore, he cannot, unless he's a superhuman, he cannot carry out all of these responsibilities in the manner in which it is required. So that when there is an issue, for instance, in Trinidad, industrial relations matter, how Mr. Duke attending to that if it is that he's required to be in his office in Tobago, whether as an assemblyman, whether as a secretary, or whether he's in the away, so we know we're not going to see any more stunts. So he's not going to run. Let's say he gets the division of infrastructure, because he's been all over Tobago talking about, let me fix this, and this need to fix and that. Let's say he gets that division. If there's an industrial relations matter in the division of health, is he going to run up in one of the THA offices with a bullhorn and say, we shutting this down? Yeah, well, boss man, you can't do that, because you are the executive council of the THA. So all that going on here, you part of that. So you come here to cuss yourself on a megaphone? That makes no sense. So let you think. Logistics is not all your strong suit at all. It's not. So leave it alone now. Speaking of that, I see, not to be left out of the conversation, because but Tobago election and so nobody really studying the UNC. Nobody was really studying them anyway. Waste of time. As has been highlighted over, all of a sudden the EBC is the best friend. Yeah, the EBC not biased no more. Central, up. There's 14. So I guess there was only collusion in one. Remember you say if they lose the 3, there was no collusion. If they win the 3, there was collusion. Well, they win 2 out of 3, so there was only collusion for 1, right? And all they wanted to sue the EBC for the 3 extra seats. Oh, that is unconstitutional, it's illegal. All they want to sue them again. All of a sudden, Faith Nasser's scope, she's not anybody family member. Yeah? She's not Maxi Coffee niece. She's not Keith Rowley cousin anymore. She's not Stuart John God's sister. She good now, all they like her. And all they like the EBC now, yeah. All they didn't need no international observers again. How come all they weren't talking about that? Don't need that no more. It was fair. Election was free and fair, eh? Yes. Sure.
The trolls would have been taking me to tongue today.
Huh?
I said the trolls would have been taking us to tongue today if that election.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You see how let's make all that self-look dotation or let's talk that up? So the EBC is conveniently biased. So how come they wasn't biased in Tobago? You mean the PNM EBC embarrassed the PNM?
Yeah.
Now, but we need to fire Kun and everybody else. The whole of the EBC had to go, oh, they could do that. No. All them PNM who work in EBC, we had to fire them. They no damn good. Sure. Yeah. Now the UNC had sent out something stating that the Prime Minister has lost legitimacy because of the loss in Tobago. Yeah. Now you're for real? And therefore he should call an election. Well, your political leader lost 2 general elections. How many elections? I lose count of how many elections this woman lost. Right? But she is still legitimate. She is entitled to continue to hold on to the position as leader of the UNC. Defeat after defeat. Really? But Dr. Rowley is illegitimate and he should call an election. So I don't know what to tell you now.
Did they won the election called bad or no?
Yeah, well, they will wait. Wait for that. What was Kamala say? I'll figure I dotish like Manning or something, so to call an election, really? Really?
I forgot that.
Yeah.
Watch it. When you see a no, that it is inevitable. It is going to be inevitable. It had no way you would not make that mistake and try to call the election. You mad? Way?
Yeah, not at all. They were so confident. Why shouldn't call it? If I was Dr. Rowley, I'd do the same thing. I take my extension. Right? My extra 3 months, I take in that and 2 weeks. I drag it down to the wire. Because you're entitled to do that and all. You can't complain and talk about dictatorship. All you don't know what a dictatorship is, no. All you really don't know. Talk about, Dr. Rowley's a dictator. All you seem to forget it was Kamala and the UNC that brought the runoff bill to tell people who supporting third parties that they can't participate in a runoff. If your party and get 50% of the vote, whatever it is, you're knocked out. So your vote don't count. It's either you vote for one of the two or Stillman or shim out. All you forget that. For 3 days, people was sleeping on the pavement in front of, down by the waterfront where the parliament was. Never had something like that. People protesting in relay. 6 o'clock in the evening, one group come and they sleep, and then 6 o'clock in the morning, our next group come and replace the overnight group. The person who was a part, who was one of the main persons involved in the consultation appointed by the government, Merle Hodge, come and say, you see what they're telling all there about, that was part of the consultation. That wasn't true. We don't know where runoff come from. We're only talking about dictatorship, and the people march and say, we don't want it. Come and say, to hell with all you. Middle finger, take it. You forget that? But Keith Rowley is a dictator. Really? When they was giving away lands in Chagaramas, people from all walks of life come together to march from Chagaramas to the waterfront to say, we're not taking that. Well, it can't be giving away our state lands. Prime property. And who they was giving it to? The same 1% that all say Rowley, in whose back pocket you all say Rowley is, right? Yeah, but this government doing more for the 1%. Well, if for real, all of these leases that were given out, this administration took them to court. Who they took to court? The same 1% that, or let's say, Rowley like. Same 1%. He went to court to fight the same 1% so that you, the 99%, could get back the land that Kamala gave away. All they want to talk that chopping is when they block off Sharkville Beach to put up the water park and all they couldn't go there. KFC gone and all this kind of thing. Take all the beach. But Keith Rowley is a dictator. All they forget is Kamala do that. All they forget is the UNC that did that. Give away the Chaguaramas Convention Center. Who did that? Keith Rowley did that? But Keith Rowley is a dictator. Well, for real?
How they just deteriorated. That when that was turned into the hotel and everything with all the conference rooms and down there was really nice. I worked there. I worked there under the maintenance staff, the electrical maintenance staff there, and we did a lot of work there. And it really and truly it was nice, you know. The place was decent, you know. And then I don't know.
Yeah, you run it down to you that you could evaluate and give it to your friends for next to nothing. That's the UNC style of doing things. I want to draw to the attention. I see for all of our UNC listeners who live in South and you all who come to Port of Spain, there's a building that is currently being erected around Queen's Park East. You know what that building is? It is to be the new headquarters for the Ministry of Health. That is a building that will be owned by the government of Trinidad and Tobago. You know what that would result in when it's opened? A savings of $8 to $12 million in rent that is currently going in the pockets of the 1% because the Ministry of Health currently renting a building on Park Street. So they will be moving out of rented accommodation, right, into their own building owned by the government of Trinidad and Tobago. So the millions that has been going into the pocket of the 1% in rent will be no more. But Keith Rowley in the back pocket of the 1%. You all don't think these things, you know. What was that outfit, the government campus? Customs, that now has its own building owned by the government of Trinidad and Tobago. So the millions in rent that was being paid to Issa Nicholas family, that blue glass building at the bottom of Abercrombie Street and Independence Square that has been empty for the last 5 years, no rent money. Under Kamala, she could have done that because when she came in 2010, all those buildings were complete. All she had to do was outfit. She didn't do it. Instead, she continued to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in rent instead of outfitting the building so that customs could have their own building. But all you know about money waste in NGC and how much hundreds of millions waste that could have go to the poor. But you all didn't know between 2010 and 2015 that rent money could have go to the poor. You all wasn't studying then how much money going in the pocket of the 1%. The Ministry of Education has its own tower now. Could have been done since 2010. All the millions that was spent in rent for accommodation that was owned by the same 1%, right? All that money saving now for the same poor people. But between 2010 and 2015, all of them know what poor people could have benefit from that. But thanks to Keith Rowley and this administration, that money no longer going into the pocket of the 1%. Ministry of Finance, Board of Inland Revenue, have their own building now, government owned. So all the accommodation they were renting from the 1% and the hundreds of millions that was going to the pocket of the 1%, 2010 to 2015, that could have been helping the poor people. Under Kamala, all they didn't know about that money could have used for the poor people. All they know about that now. All these millions, hundreds of millions saved in rent. We have nothing to say about that. And the government continues to construct its own property to house ministries so they wouldn't have to be putting money in the pocket of the 1%. But Keith Rowley is 1%. All you're chirping. And I will continue to push it in all your face when all you want to talk that dotishness. Who it is that had big party at taxpayers' expense up in the diplomatic center? 31%. Solely. They invite any earlier? How about UNC people they invite other than those in the upper echelons? So all you sit down home, chewing on all your cod. The same 1% was eating nice food, steak and so on, and caviar, and all these nice things at your expense. Keith Rowley never had no party in the diplomatic center for them, but Keith Rowley is 1%. And then she come and have the audacity to talk that nonsense, but Keith Rowley is an Oreo. Check all yourself. All your leader is the Oreo. Your leader put more money in the pocket of the 1%. All these buildings that she talking about, Paris. The average rental period for these buildings is 3 years. The PP was in office for 5 years, 3 months, and 14 days. How many of those leases did they renew when they came into office? How many of those leases expired while they were in office? Why they didn't stop the lease then and look for new buildings? No. Why did they renew lease? Well, they don't talk that talk, but had the audacity to talk about Keith Rowley illegitimate. Well, for real, that's all they will stay in opposition. Well, I figure because those 2 seats in Tobago, one now that, hey, you pay them in jeopardy. Bruce, let me give you an example. Signal Hill, Patience Hill. That was the seat Tracy Davidson Celestin contested, right? Tracy Davidson Celeste got 906 votes. The PDP guy got 927. He beat Tracy by 21 votes. I am certain you had at least 50 lackadaisical PNM supporters in that seat who decided to sit down home and didn't go and vote. If they had gotten up their lazy tails and gone and vote, instead of saying, well, the PNM have it in the bag, taking chain up, Tracy would have won that seat. 21 votes. That's the difference. Scarborough, Mount Grace, Melville Jack, Marcia Melville Jack, she got 750 votes. PDP man got 880. So he beat her by 130 votes. Right? I'm certain you probably had at least 200 lackadaisical PNM supporters sitting in that seat who decided, whatever, me going to vote now. The total electorate available in Tobago was just over 51,000 votes. 29,000 people voted, which means there were 22,000 people eligible to vote who didn't. 22,000 people.
Yeah, because I really saw that they put out and said that the electorate was only 57% of the electorate turned out.
Right. Yeah. So if the PDP figure that that they're so safe, I'll draw to their attention. Back in January, the PNM got 12,500 and something votes, right? The PDP got just a little over 12,000. So the PNM got about 500 votes more than them in January. In this round, the PNM lost about 600 votes. So they got 11,009 something. The PDP got an additional 5,000 votes. Right? So, yes, the PDP was able to capitalize and they were able to bring out more people. But with an electorate of some 22,000 persons who didn't vote, right? And over the course of the next 4 years, obviously, as more and more young people attain the age of majority and that they are able to vote, so that figure is going to increase.
Yes.
What the PNM has to now do is to focus on those seats where the margin was so small and find out from the PNM people who could have voted and made the difference and who didn't, why they didn't come out. Was it an issue that the ground game wasn't that well on Monday? Because you're supposed to go and pull out your people. You do your canvassing and make sure that all who say they're coming out to vote for you, that they went and vote for you.
True.
So it behoves me to understand how Tracy lost by 21 votes. A small margin like that. Right? Let me see this other one. Where is it? Bucco Mount Pleasant, Ansel Dennis. Ansel Dennis got 922 votes. The PDP guy, Craig, got 924.
Wow.
2 votes. Two. You tell me they didn't have 3 lackadaisical people, the PNM supporters in Bucco Mount Pleasant who could have go out and vote for Ansel Dennis and make that difference? Not 10 or less? Really? So that when you start talking this nonsense about my one vote, look on it, me and going to make a difference now. 2 votes. 2. Right? Let's see another one here. Bagatelle, Bacolet. Joel Jack got 736 votes. The PDP woman got 872, so she got 136 votes more than Joel Jack. You see these small margins? Bruce? 22,000 people. 22,000 people did not vote. Who could have voted? And for the want of such small margins, 100 and something here, 2, 21, right? These are the things that could have made a difference. Seriously? So the PDP need not. Anyway, I'll give you another one. Lambo Lowlands. PNM guy McKenzie, PDP guy Clark. McKenzie got 746, Clark got 874. Right? So just about 128 votes that the PDP won by in that particular seat. So it is quite possible for the PNM to rally. So I want to tell Wilboss King, however the hell your name is, because I'm always amazed or amused rather by those of you all who love to come on social media and bump all your gum, but you can't show your true self. You have to be hiding behind a fake profile. Stand by your words. Put a picture. Put your real name. But no, you want to come and troll under a fake profile. You have no respect for any comments from people like you. You're a waste of time. Right? You're a coward. Show yourself. You're hiding why? Because you're a closeted PNM. And you realize people will know who you are. Talking about, oh, that's the end of the PNM. Really, the PNM came back from 33-3, my friend. As I said, these small margins, these small margins, these small windows. There's no comfort for the PDP. We were able to chain up the young people. Okay, fine. All right. So just focus on those small margins. The PNM has a track record of making comebacks. Don't forget that. Okay? And as to whether or not I am not a banker for Mr. Duke. The PDP is all across the bay for the next 4 years. Not mine. We've already seen the machinations of trouble ahead. Two man rat can't live in the same hole. And while Mr. Augustine is seeking to flex his muscle to say, I am in charge, he needs to understand that being sworn in as Chief Secretary does not bestow you that position for 4 years. You need the support of the other assemblymen on your side. And the moment you lose that support, you lose your work. So he needs to tread lightly with Mr. Duke. Walk on eggshells. Right? Walk on eggshells. No, I mean, where is this thing? UNC, PNM, or rather the Prime Minister has lost political legitimacy. Let me read this piece of Janjat here for you. The opposition UNC believes Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has lost political legitimacy following PNM's 14-1 defeat in Tobago. The party issued a meet right. They said now that the Elections and Boundaries Commission has released its preliminary results in Tobago as a 14-1 greenwash. We see that both of the islands of Trinidad and Tobago have rejected the PNM completely. Both islands rejected you completely on more than one occasion. More than one occasion, but yet still you still legitimate, eh? All right. It is time for dictator Keith Rowley to call an election to confirm his political illegitimacy. The election results on Monday were a historic turning point in the political history of Trinidad and Tobago, and it was brought about by Tobago's profound rejection of Keith Rowley's dictatorship, bullying, greed, and incompetence. Tobago voted 14-1 against PNM corruption. What PNM corruption? What PNM corruption? After 6 years, you all have not brought any significant issue of corruption against this administration. But you see, it's just become a loose term that you all throw out there. Imagine, you all ran a whole election campaign in 2020, general election campaign, and no talk from the UNC about PNM corruption. None. 5 years the PNM in office. And for a whole general election campaign, not one talk, one word about corruption last year in the campaign. What they talk about? Oh, the PNM is incompetent, and 200,000 people lost their jobs, and the economy is on the brink, and the economy collapsed. That's all they talk about. You all had not one word to say about corruption. But all they come and talk about, no, Tobago voted against PNM corruption. What PNM corruption? Really? At this juncture in the PP's tenure, the amount of things we could have pointed to, corruption up to this day, Kamala Persad-Bissessar is yet to address or speak to the claim, the allegation that she received $8 million to facilitate Section 34. Jack Warner made that claim. She promised to sue him. Up to now, here we are, 6 years after that election, not even a pre-action protocol letter. All the allegations Jack Warner made. At this juncture in the PP's tenure, we were hearing about all the bag of money ministers. We read about text messages between certain government ministers and the contractors making arrangements of where to drop the bag of money. Which minister in this administration has been accused of being a bag of money minister? Which minister in this administration has been accused of taking money or soliciting bribes from a contractor? Not one. And that is what eating all up. So like I just come and throw things out there and talk about PNM corruption and this nebulous term. But we're asking you to give us the granular details of this corruption that all you're talking about. Where is it? Where is it? All I want to talk about is the merit list. And there was collusion and whatnot and stuff. Look at now. Every time Gary Griffith opened his mouth, he shoot himself in the foot. Right now he's out of feet. So I don't know where else he started to shoot himself. Both feet gone a long time. Using a buckshot. So any chances that he had of coming back as commissioner, he probably that is down the drain. Why? Because of his mouth. Maybe that's why he need to shoot himself. Anyway, Tobago voted 14-1 against PNM nepotism. Tobago voted 14-1 against PNM state capture with 65% Tobagonian employed in the PNM-controlled THA. Oh, Tobago voted against PNM state capture. 65% Tobagonian employed. Oh, so you're trying to say Tobagonians have an issue with 65% of Tobagonians being employed by THA? How much we bringing that down to? 35? So where that 30% going to get employed? All right. Anyway, Tobago voted 14-1 against PNM's destruction of the private sector. Tobago voted 14-1 against PNM's lack of opportunities for young people. This raises questions about the legitimacy of the two PNM MPs in Parliament, particularly after Shampa Kojo's disrespectful tantrum shouting that nobody lived in the rural countryside of Tobago. These MPs have clearly now lost any legitimacy that they may have once had. The PNM spent millions of taxpayer dollars trying to bribe Tobagonian voters, while Trinidad media houses, who did not even properly cover the issues in the THA elections, made millions of easy dollars in political acts. Yet Tobagonians rejected them completely. Even Rowley's own home constituency of Mason Hall politically ran him out. Kamla, will you forget 2013? Will you went to Tobago? How much millions will you spend? It was alleged will you spend 65 million in Tobago. And you all were whitewashed. You all didn't get that damn seat. Not one. At least the PNM came out with one. You all had none. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Tobago take all your money. Anyway. Bruce, I feel, anyway, Lamash. It is notable that the only seat that the PNM won in Tobago was one of the new ones carved out by the EBC. This raises several questions about Rowley's political interference, added on to many others that the EBC still needs to answer. Clearly, Dr. Rowley not good at political interference. He can only get one seat. He needs to go back to the drawing board. Doc, nah. Yeah. Leave political interference alone. Clearly, you're not good at it, sir. Kid Rowley must step down now as political leader of the PNM. As we are aware that many in the party are calling for, Rowley must also step down as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and call fresh election. We ask further, if Kid Rowley cannot win in Tobago, what use is he to the PNM? Imagine that under its first Tobagonian leader, the PNM lost its 20-year hold on Tobago. And that points to the deep disdain and disapproval that the people of both Trinidad and Tobago have for the Prime Minister Keith Rowley. But Farley spoke about that 20-year cycle, right? The NAR was an indigenous Tobago party, and they were voted out, right? Are we, boy? Yeah. Well, I forget that. And if based on what Farley has said is true, then it means that, the PDP about 20 years. In 20 years' time, they too will be voted out. So what that mean? Okay. Keith Rowley must step down now as political leader of the PNM, right? As we are aware, many in the party are calling for that. The dramatic manner in which the PNM was taken down in Tobago is a complete repudiation of PNM policy and mode of governance. The same problems plague Trinidad. And the PNM is now a minority party and nobody wants them there. Well, they went from 29 seats to how much? 18? That wasn't a repudiation of the PP. No! It was the EBC and the PNM thief. They stole the election. There was collusion between the PNM and the EBC. It's because the chief elections officer has several familiar relations with persons in the PNM. It wasn't that the UNC lost political legitimacy. It wasn't the fact that after they spend all that money, or they get people 500 a month to make child and all them thing. Money, or let's say to buy baby milk. Yeah, or just go and make children, we get all 500 a month for that. And yet still, you spend over $50 million on voices your government working for you. Every time you open a standpipe, you cut a ribbon to open a standpipe, you had to do a whole 5-minute ad on that. Every time you pave 2 potholes, you had to do a whole 5-minute ad on that. On the radio and TV, $50 million of taxpayers' money went down the drain on that, right? And you still lost, went from 29 to 18, and you're still legitimate? Something wrong with all your... Look, Bruce, open the line there for me, please. Open the line for me, please. I don't cuss, but anyway.
Dominic.
I can't be held responsible if something slip out the way these people are. Yeah.
Dominic, here what I feel we need to do going forward, Here what I feel we need to do going forward. Because it would seem clearly whatever the opposition does or doesn't do is no never mind. So here we will start to do going forward. Everything PNM do, community-wise thing, we come in here with it. Every single thing in every single area. Start to bring in little reports to us. Everything the PNM do. Whether they fix a standpipe,
yes,
they plaster a wall here, I want to know about it. Bring it to the titles. Send me some pictures. I will take pictures like that. I want a picture of what is going on. I want a before picture. I want a after picture. I want the area. Right? I want the duration of the project. I don't care which area it is. Whether it be Trinidad, whether it be Tobago. Start to send us that. And we will highlight it here. So what we're going to start to do, because here we're going on. It don't matter what we tell all your concerning the opposition. It don't matter. If we say it today, if we say it tomorrow, no problem. No problem. So here we're going on. I will dedicate my phone to that. Send me them pictures. I will go and buy a bigger memory card and put it in my phone. I want to know when you send any picture for me, the area, right? The before picture, the after picture. When the project start, how long the project take. Send that to me. And we're going to start to do we canvassing from now. We're going to start to make from now. Yeah, we're going to make we back and from now, because if I come and tell you...
We will take up the mantle of PR.
Exactly.
PNM PR.
Simple as that. We could talk the other things after, but for now.
Yes.
Right? Shara? Hope you're listening.
Bruce, imagine right, the most amount of seats, right? Here it is. The most amount of seats that the PNM ever held in Tobago was 12, because that was the maximum before, right?
Right.
Right, so now they have 1. So technically they lost 11.
Right.
Can't the extra 3 because I wasn't there before. So they went from 12 to 1. They lost 11. The UNC went from, and the UNC based on that saying that the Prime Minister is illegitimate because they lost 11 seats and whatnot, and the PNM is illegitimate.
Yes.
The PP went from 29 to 18. How much is that? 11 men? Same 11. All lost. But Kamala wasn't illegitimate.
No.
UNC wasn't illegitimate. No.
That's what I'm telling you.
We turn up for another election, and then we turn up for another one again, come 2025. And all I feel if Watson win them 2 seats in Tobago, all you really feel that if he join with the UNC, that he gonna make Kamala Prime Minister? You're mad? Who if he gonna be Prime Minister? Not Kamala. But we know all you so want the Treasury, that all you would be willing to do anything, even if it means making that man Prime Minister, just so you could get back in the Treasury to thief. To finish what all they started between 2010 and 2015. That's all they want.
I want them.
There's nobody country and the well-being of the country is just all they could thief more.
I want them to leave the goodly lady right there. Don't move her at all.
Right there.
Don't move her at all. Leave her right there. We go fix that. You go see the fixing here. To my troll friends and them, you go see the fixing. Watch the fixing coming. All you want to fix? Watch the power of the fix here. And you go see back now.
I'm talking about how much money you spend in ads and is the newspaper. And all for real, how much money all you get from Ross? All you forget that? Forget the billboards all you put up at Kamala. Pays for Christmas, telling people Merry Christmas, $60,000 for a billboard. $60,000 for a billboard, but all they didn't know what poor people then and how much people that $60,000 could have paid. All over the country, billboard all over the place. Yeah, $60,000 taxpayers' money. All they had nothing to say about that. That wasn't a waste of money. Poor people couldn't eat from that. But no, all the thing that we're only spending money on that poor people could have benefit from that is a waste of money. Something wrong with all. You all have no moral authority. I know Central don't like that too. Moral authority. You have none.
Look here, boy. Morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Morning, Bruce and Dominic.
Morning, Central.
Morning.
Dominic, I know it has
Calling him and he got jump out.
All that we're talking about, if you go and campaign with the PNM and Tobago, all them things you're saying, probably the results might have been different. Yeah,
right.
But you see, Dominic, the blowout the PNM get in Tobago, it have consequences for Trinidad also. Because
really? Yeah,
everybody in the island
PNM in
don't
Trinidad.
who is supporting Shamfa and Alison West and Tobago? Do you know, I think those two seats are supposed to be recalled and they're supposed to get a fresh mandate from the Tobago population to move forward. Who they represent? They don't represent anybody there anymore because the majority of the people. I hear you saying PNM people stay away and didn't vote. Dominic, if you analyze the result carefully, it's quite a number of PNM people who voted with the PDP to remove the PNM because they were so fed up with Keith Rowley. That is what going on. So that Tobago election have a lot of consequences for Trinidad because all you like to say the UNC have to wait 4 years. We have to wait 4 years again.
Yeah, that's the consequence.
Election. And do you know the consequences could change? Those 2 seats could go to the PDP. And what is going to happen to Dr. Rowley in Trinidad? He down to 20 seats. UNC will have 19.
Really?
When even if the PDP don't join with the UNC, when the PNM have to pass bills in Parliament, and the PDP not going to support the government. So 19 and 2, it will be 21. It will be 21 against 20. The government can't pass nothing. So Duke and them don't have to join with the UNC to get anything going. Just no bills, nothing can't pass because there will be 20 and it will be 21 opposition. So I think those 2 seats in Tobago, those 2 people need to resign now and get a fresh mandate from the population. Thank you very much.
Before you even say a word, you hear it clear from him, right?
Right.
So we don't care about the people in general.
Yes.
So if a bill is to pass in the favor of the people of the country, we don't want the government to govern. So none of we are in agreeing with that bill. So to hell with the people.
Go back to the polls.
Like I
now,
say,
you know,
guys like Central now will help us to campaign properly. You see, he done started help already. You see what I'm telling you, Dominic? You see what I'm telling you? You done started help me. Thank you very much, Central. I find they could call it a little more every morning. Help me to push my party forward.
No, Bruce, you see, again, and this is why I will say waterfront ilk. When in 2013, right? In Tobago, the PNM took all 12 seats, right? Why Delmon Baker and Vanilla Allen Toppin didn't resign? Central, tell me that. Why you didn't call the radio station to tell Delmon Baker and Vanilla Allen Toppin that all you lost legitimacy because the PNM win all 12 seats and therefore Kamla needed to call an election. They needed to resign and have an election in Tobago to reinforce the legitimacy. You see the hypocrisy of the UNC? You didn't call then for them two to resign, but now you want to come and talk about, Shamfa Kojuan is not Alison West. Right? Alison West is the Minister of Public Administration. Okay, is Ayanna Webster Roy. Okay, right. So it had no problem with Vanilla and Delmon remaining as the MPs. It's all right. No, we don't need to call no election for them to lose 2 seats. But the 2 PNM people need to do it now. They didn't get a whitewash. They still hold on to a seat. And the margins by which they lost in some of these seats was extremely small. And I want to remind you, I told you, if you look at the general election and the amount of votes that the PNM got was just over 12,000 or so. They got 11,900 and something on Monday. So it's just a loss of about 600 votes. You understand? So they didn't lose much support from the PNM. What happened is that you had a lot of people who probably customarily don't vote, decided to come out because for whatever their reasons were, right? If it is that they were able to entice the young people to come out and vote and whatnot and stuff, these young people who live in PDP house and they tell them, hey, we go and vote and you hold them by the scruff and then they can carry them down to the point and them go and vote. So be it. Right? But again, anyway, Bruce, continue to take the course. Central, let me think about these things before you call the station and talk nonsense, eh? No, because these things don't miss.
Let Central call na man. Central helping to the new campaign going forward 2025. Don't worry yourself. Remember, I tell you that. Caller, good morning.
A blessed morning to you, Mr. Bruce, the boss Wayne, Mr. Dominic.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Loyal listeners and callers, all who are in live. Mr. Bruce Wayne, I want to tell you, it's no more standpipe. It's pipe in the yard. If you was, that one, if you was watching you.
Yeah.
You know where the thing, the booster stations that they put it all over the place. That is what you have to let people send for you and all who work on the projects. If you was watching you.
Yes, I want to know everything. Everything. The reason why I say standpipe is because I want from the smallest thing come up.
Yeah, well, the smallest thing is the booster station. If you was watching you, was PNM under the PNM. Most of the people, in my area here in Sogo Trace, when the government went out a power boost, we did done our water in 2007. If you was watching you.
Yeah.
If you was, we get water in 2007. You was watching you.
Yeah.
It was no standpipe again. It's water in your yard. People only talking about the PNM, as I just always say, it is 99% of what development of Trinidad and Tobago was done under the PNM. What's you can them get a platter in Tobago and here what the first thing Pali saying, they meet the Tobago in shambles. I want to say what? You see where I coming from. So all you expect most of these things coming out from Tobago. And I know they done the allocation for the Tobago House of Assembly is done there already. So when they're looking for more money or to do this or that or the other, they don't have the allocation. You was watching you.
Yeah.
Because that will be a issue, especially with Mr. No management accountability for whatever you're spending. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dominic, so the pictures done started coming already, right?
Well, that's what we want.
Basketball court in Pleasantville, PNM. And I'm going to send it to put it up for you all to see. So don't feel like just getting the pictures and it coming in and I ain't showing all it. I'm showing all it. Showing all it. Caller, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Morning.
Morning. From Tobago, boy.
Hey, morning. How you doing?
Morning.
Well, at least me get it. So we tell to we people go to the player. The people are there call and say, "Oh, me and my family alone go vote PDP." We shall talk to the people, but me a taxi man and me see the thing on the ground and no one upset people. But Dominica, I think you just doing in your program that I find it selling Trinidad down in a hole and it automatically Trinidad and Tobago. If one party make an error, you compare it with what the next party did in them time. They go set no precept, they go make nothing correct, you know. As how the people say they are going to add that they print and how much money they spend, that could help for people. You know, where you do a reference and say, Camilla pop a billboard for $60,000 and you have to draw a line when that thing is wrong. And people could nip it in the border and that he can't follow suit by a next regime or the case may be, but we don't keep on comparing who they do that and who they do this and where you get in the place, no where you get them boy to take up gun and rob and stop because they realize well everybody is bandit. And then the election go on and try to tell people to stop wish what's that Fari to fall out and what's to go pull this side and Fari go pull that side. And when I wish the people are them the best that the country could breed and it's a foregone conclusion. The people don't speak, the people spoke. The voice are gone. And let so be the case and then we move on. Like how the place should the thing should happen, but we all the human. We all for the best. We have a good one.
You too, man. Take care.
For the best. All right.
Yeah. Hey, as we say, the people have spoken. We respect that, but we're moving forward. We not on that anymore. Send me pictures. Send me information. That is what we're on right about now.
Exactly. Right, and I just want to speak to one thing that Central said that, the results in Tobago would have consequences or repercussions. It would. It is a wake-up call to the people, to the PNM supporters in Trinidad, right? All they want to sit down on their laurels and relax and figure everything is good. No, it's not good. All right? All they need to know what they need to do. So who in authority? And we need to get your act together. Get your act together. All right? And to be well spoken, that's it. And as the caller said, the people make the choice. Okay, nobody vexed all here. It is what it is. So I have made the point before, Bruce, and I said, fine. With respect to the TH, I have no issues with that. If the people feel that the PDP will do a better job, as the guy said, hope for the best. My issue is for the bigger issue has to be central government. And I am talking about in the context of 2025. And the fact that Mr. Duke has already articulated that he is in charge and he has no intentions of taking instructions from Trinidad. I am not aware that the central government gives instructions to Tobago. But I am saying that when it comes to the health of the people of Trinidad and Tobago in a pandemic, right, you cannot take an adversarial approach such as that you're not taking instructions from Trinidad because it has implications for Trinidadians, unless it is that you're going to say we're opening the beach only for Tobagonians and Trinidadians not allowed to come across, so that spread would be contained in Tobago only. Well, then fine, no problem. But if it is that Trinis are going to be allowed to go to Tobago, if you open beach to go and frolic and lime and party and then come back Trinidad and cause a situation that could put the parallel health sector under further stress, that is something. And we cannot be ignoring that and talking about this and we hope for. No, you cannot be taking decisions in Tobago that can have a negative impact not just on Tobago, but the wider situation of Trinidad and Tobago, especially in a pandemic.
Caller, morning.
Morning, Bruce. Morning, Dominic.
Morning.
Now, I hearing everything that is said, and I know all the issues that we will have to, and the mountain that we have to climb. But what I would like to state today is that just as I mentioned before, I don't know if you remember, Bruce, I stated that the PR apparatus of the PNM needs to be revamped. And this is total proof because we can no longer win future elections with past methodology. We cannot. So the whole election was fought on social media, sadly to say. So all the old ways of doing things, especially the youths, do not buy into it, they don't take it, they don't accept it. Even if it's a lie, they still choose it on social media. And these are the things that we have to look into. We have to get with the times, otherwise we will get more of the same results. And I don't think that is something we can afford to do. I don't think we can continue to do this. So we need to have new people in the management of the PR. Otherwise, we will get more of the same. And next 4 years, it will be a disaster for this country to see a return of people who made us suffer. This time it might be 25,000 people in jail with no charge. Okay, so I think that is where we really need to be focusing on. The errors that were made. That is what we need. Otherwise, we will just get more of the same. Imagine you have let me not say that. Have a nice day.
So, guys, we have about a minute before we go to the break. When we return, we continue taking your calls. We give you some of that sweet parang music because, hey, election done is Christmas time. You know I love my Christmas. Dominic,
that's right.
You only know Dominic is the ham guy. I'm the turkey guy. Right? So, come on. Right? So
I went yesterday and checked out my salty, eh? Yeah.
I want one of them turkeys you was talking about in Thanksgiving. You know the one where I might have to cook half in the oven and then turn it around and cook the next half. Yeah. I feel I want one of them. So guys, we're going to the break and we'll be right back. Keep it locked to the Street 909 FM. This is your Titans of Democracy. We will be right back.
jam now, right? All right, all kind of things going on, but we could still love up and hug up in our family jam in your house, right? Come on now. In a barang party, everybody know how the thing does go. So I go hold me baby, get a naughty, nobody needs to know. And you go see somebody with somebody doing the heel and toe. And you know everybody is somebody only love with the show. We can't help it. It's the barang in me. Hey, 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 hey. And we love it. Play more barang there for we. Easy thing now, right? All I want you to do is, I say I just wanna hug a band, love a band, can't grab your man. Again, hug a band, love a band, hold your woman. Come now, hug a band, love a band, in the barang. Hug a band, love a band, family chat. We come in the thing, we come here to swing. I'll ask you to barrio. Go fling, sip something, here is scenario. So come in the place and join our space. All that you need to know is love abundantly is the currency that you need to show. We can't help it. It's the barang in we. Hey, 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 hey. And we love it. Play more barang there for we. What we doing? I say I just wanna hug a band, love a band, y'all grab your man. Nothing in place. Hug a band, love a band, hold your woman. Nothing in place. Hug a band, love a band, in the barang. Nothing in place. Hug a band, love a band, family chat. No lacquer when we barang and we day. Put something in my hand, I want. What we say, you know, I like that. All the way. I be married to step now. Come on. Bim, 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 bim. From the front to the back. Let me see you moving. Come to the heel and toe. Do a little something. To the soca barang. Let me see you moving. Bim, 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 bim. From the front to the back. Let me see you moving. To the heel and toe. Do a little something. Bim, 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 bim. Right there. All of that. Love a band. God love your man.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282. Or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Dr. Livette. Join him right here on your radio every Friday afternoon from 5:05 p.m. to 5:35 p.m. for your dose of the health and wellness in a program that is sure to change your life. Popular for promoting Livette rather than diet, Dr. Livette has transformed a number of lives nationwide and is now live on the Street 919 FM every Friday from 5:05 p.m. Tune in and also learn about the U-Juice to build your immunities and promote overall great health. Dr. Livette on the Street 919 FM this and every Friday from 5:05 p.m. to 5:35 p.m. It's time that you live.
Welcome the Christmas holidays this year with quality and attractive furniture from Stylus Furniture Limited. 2 locations, 51 Rushwood Street, San Fernando, and 101 Crackness Village in Princestown. Select from a wide range of contemporary furniture to enhance your homes. Now open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call today, 652-2542. Season's greetings to all our customers and friends from Stylus Furniture Limited. Stylus Furniture Limited. For this time in you.
After all the talk during the week, don't switch off on the weekend and keep it on the street. It's classic soca and classic kaiso when you're liming with the live wire on Saturdays from 5 to 7 p.m. only on the Street 919 FM.
From the studio to the stage every Friday between 3 to 4 p.m. right here on the street, 919 FM. Radio you can see. Log on to our Facebook and YouTube so you can see live interviews and performances from some of our very own local superstars right here on the street, 919 FM.
Step into a world of opportunities at CTS College, where education is beyond the academics. Winner of over 50 world prizes, as well as a CTT Student Support Services Award. CTS College is your choice for quality education, guaranteed to unlock your true potential. Internationally recognized degree programs. Choose a degree that is right for you. Come in for your free career guidance session and start your future today. CTS College, 671-2551, or visit our website, ctscbcs.com.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly of numbers 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco, Sangre Grande, is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guest Sundays, Tuesdays, and Friday night Sunday Ministry of Worship, Children Hour, and the Word from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. and Friday night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. all night prayer for our nation. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org or on Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated at Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
The Street 91.9 FM brings you today's tips to improve your financial literacy. Improving your financial literacy is a never-ending endeavor that needs to be prioritized. As you work on improving your financial literacy, it's important to continue your momentum. Here are your tips. Live within your means. This is one that you've likely heard time and time again, and for good reason, because of how important it is and the significance it can have on your retirement plan. If you want to avoid taking on debt, going broke, and pushing back your chances of retiring at a reasonable age, then it is in your best interest to make sure that your overall spending is less than what you are earning to make sure you are not jeopardizing your financial future. It's always easier said than done, but it's also much easier to practice when you stick to your values and don't worry about how others are spending their money. That was your financial tip brought to you by the Street 91.9 FM.
This is the Street 919 FM COVID-19 updates. In case you missed it, the latest COVID positive cases in TNT as of December 8th, 2021 stands at new positive cases 881. Total active cases 13,231. Total recovered patients 61,931. Total positive cases for COVID-19 as of March 2020 to present 77,482. Follow the Ministry of Health COVID-19 protocols. Wear your mask, sanitize, social distance, and avoid gatherings. A message from the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
Where you going? Where you going? No, come up, man. I said to come up, my rough. Come up, my rough. No, yeah. Or else get lose all the plates, or they'll lose all the good. I said, come up, my rough. You think this big stone here is for joke? No, wait, come up, my rough. Come up, man. Come up, man. Right. And don't come back again. You hear me? Don't come back down here again.
Hey, one bite.
One girl, I know you want your life up this Christmas, but I will remember the script for the year, the way how you like it. And let me go take a woman and speak. If I could do something for she, what? Bring a piece of love. She wanted for Christmas early. She said she waiting. She hope I could do it today. I tell she I coming. Right now I on my way. When I bring the book and I drop it, the woman got to respect. Telling me it's not so she wanted. Next time I must have a forget. She holding me bucket, she hand. She don't want yeah on the baby. She make me to understand. She don't want yeah on the baby. It's so she love she forget. She don't want yeah on the baby. It doesn't make she sleep good in bed. She don't want yeah on the baby.
So welcome back on the inside. Just a bit of information for you. Tune into the Street 919 FM every Thursday from 10:05 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. for the program Straight and Narrow, The Way of Life, the Health Store, being brought to you by Mrs. Arlene Collins Muhammad. For more information, check us out on Facebook or Instagram at Straight and Narrow, or visit our website at www.opulence.com/Arlene for Life. You can also call or WhatsApp us on 309-4697 or 620-9379.
She could take my back, you were joking, and he did with knife and fork. She holding me pocket, she hand. She the one there on the baby.
The iconic drink Campari continues to make its presence felt, this time with its Easy for We brand communication across radio, social media, and print. The brand is sharing its signature Campari Grapefruit Easy Mix, which consists of 1 part Campari and 3 parts grapefruit soda, with the help of Jamaican dancehall artist Idonia. Tobagonians, it's the merriest time of the year. Christmas at Lowlands Mall, Tobago's #1 shopping and entertainment destination. This Saturday, December 11th, come and enjoy pianist Gerald Balfour, vocalist Michelle Williams, music by DJ Journey, and Sweet Parang from El Corazon de Parang. And it all begins from 3 p.m. Also, big Christmas savings from most stores and sumptuous choices from the food court. Christmas is yours at Lowlands Mall.
So she loves, she walk like she don't want yeah on the baby. It doesn't make she sleep good in bed. She don't want yeah on the baby.
Deck your home with a 55-inch smart TV. Just purchase your DirecTV prepaid kit and enjoy an instant gift of free installation. Then activate and top up 30 days to be eligible for the grand prize. You'll be dashing through the shows all season long with DirecTV prepaid. Remember, this promotion goes till December 17th. Welcome the Christmas holidays this year with quality and attractive furniture from Stylus Furniture Limited. Our 2 locations, 51 Rushwood Street, San Fernando, and 101 Cragnesh Village in Princestown. Select from a wide range of contemporary furniture to enhance your homes. Now open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Just call us today at 652-2542. Season's greetings to all our customers and friends from Stylus Furniture Limited. Stylus Furniture Limited, for the style in you.
Christmas and I'm buying one already. Hey, one big fat turkey for me to share with everybody. But if you see this lady, man, she only harassing me. She keep on telling me roast pork and for I'm a big fat turkey. Nothing small can satisfy she. Sure, I'm a big fat.
So welcome back on the inside, guys. You're locked onto the street 919 FM. This is your Titans of Democracy, Dominic Romain and Bruce Wayne. And we open back up the lines. You can call us on 342-0081 466-5391. Guys, remember to keep it respectful, keep it short, keep it sweet. Okay? So, we're going in. Caller, good morning.
Hey, morning, Bruce. Morning, Dominic.
Morning.
Bruce and Dominic, the pandemic law that has been proclaimed forbids people not to be out in public without a mask, cannot congregate in more than 10 persons in a group. And there's a lot of things that they can't do, even going to the beach. So tell me, how is the leader of the THA, Watson Duke, is going to open up the beaches in Tobago? As it is now, Trinidad and Tobago is one country and one solitary state. Until he gets his secession, he has to abide by that. And the $2 billion plus allocated to him from the budget for the 4 years that he's going to be in for, if he makes the 4 years, it has to be accounted for in Parliament and will be scrutinized and be drilled down by the same Kamala Prasad Visesa gang, who is going to also say that, who has already said that Tobago does get so much money already. The UNC come out categorically and make that statement. And the most, they will try to do Shepherd to say Rowley thieving the money, and Rowley and the PNM thieving the money, and Rowley and TVM got to come for that money when it start missing. Or if it start missing, let me use that. So it has to be, to aside all this other rubbish talk that Watson Duke has been saying, and he continues with it. And if that is how the way he's going to govern, he's going to end up in some serious problems. Because I listen to some of the people who support Watson Duke, and they actually believe that, So that's the reason I had also put up a post on Facebook to ask myself if Tobago is a real place. Because if you all don't understand the Constitution and how the Constitution is put in place for us to follow, because that is the laws of Trinidad and Tobago as a solitary state, how is Watson Duke going to fulfill most of them promises that he's telling you? And you understand what I'm saying? And Tobago has to understand that the majority of their funding comes from central government. And also, as Dr. Rowley said, which I really never looked at it that way, is that the ministries like health and works and all these things do come in, and they also spend money in Tobago. So this nonsense that I keep hearing from the minds in Tobago and how Tobago to run their affairs, it's going to be very difficult, and they're not speaking the truth to the people. Tobago can run their affairs. But is Tobago ready to, to cut back on a lot of things that they are accustomed, the way of life today? Because they will have to cut back on that. They will have to think, no vanity products and projects or things there. But how are you going to get investors? How are you going to get, to stimulate growth and also employment? You have to have ideas, and your ideas must be able to work and come in there. Watson Duke is the man who runs Sanders. Sanders was coming in there to generate, first of all, what Tobago is great for and known for, tourism and employment. He didn't want them. So if Sanders have to come back, Sanders is going to come back and be very mindful that we are dealing with a crackpot. So what to do to get them to come, they will have to bend backwards to give them a sweetheart deal because they are coming there to invest, and they're not going to come in there and expect to lose their money because a crackpot get vexed and decide they are going to pick up the marbles and all they got to leave the country. They're not going to do that. So any people who come in there, they have seen what Watson Duke have done. Any deal that they're going to cut with Trinidad and Tobago, foreign investors, there will be a clause that it will be hard to move them. Thank you very much.
Bruce, before you take it, right? So I'm seeing a headline CNC3 put out just now. In the Business Guardian today, PDP faces cash crisis at THA. PNM leaves bed up thorns, development budget overspent, contingency balance overspent. PDP has not been sworn in yet. right? And you see this kind of nonsense headlines.
That was saying where that come from?
And so Mr. Duke and Pali done talking about forensic audit. You know how much forensic audits cost? Right? You're telling me you have a cash crisis, but you have money to conduct forensic audit. To show what? So the nonsense done start already to put forward a case to say, well, we can't do what we said we would do, and we can't deliver on the promises because it's ain't no money. They ain't sworn in yet. All right. Hope for the best. Same as buying a lottery ticket. When you win, the jackpot. Anyway, let me march my mouth.
Oh, boy. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Dominic. Morning, Bruce.
Morning.
Morning.
I want to tell Central and all the other naysayers and the gloaters something. If they don't know the history of Tobago, PNM only had one member in Parliament for 4 terms, which is 16 years, because NAI was in power for 5 terms, which is 20 years. Right? PNM had one member sitting in that chamber from 1984 right up to 1996. Right? So this is not a first time thing. The way they're gloating and not behaving as though, well, this is the first time that PNM have one member in there. Now I was there for 20 years. Okay, the people wanted a change. They put in PNM. PNM was there for 20 years. They wanted a change now. So let us wait and see what PDP will do in the first 4 years. Hope if they last the 4 years. Right? So all Central and them, let them go and do their history now. Let them go and do their history. In respect to the beach, Watson, no, he doesn't have the authority because that doesn't fall under his purview to open any beaches. And that is what he sold to the majority of the young people on the platform, because they were promised that the beach would be open, and all this thing going on the pleasure boats. And then you have all the first-time voters. They were told on the platform that they would be employed when they get into office. Some were promised work in Wassa, because a certain person was from Wassa was here walking up and down with Watson Duke to go into people place, promising people jobs in Wassa, all that kind of thing. So they sold that idea to the young people, right? Especially the first-time voters. But little do they know Watson doesn't have the right to open any beaches. What I want to tell to Begonians, I hope they have the deed in hand for their property, because from what we were seeing before the election day, where Watson was walking up and down with a certain gentleman showing him property, even state land, they better watch themselves. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, caller.
And that's a Begonian caller.
Right, so you have yourself somebody, a man walking around with a man from Wassa promising jobs. Wow, okay. Interesting.
This is a lady from Tobago that just called. So, this is, and those are things we would not have known, Dominic. Right?
Yeah.
So, continuing to take the calls. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Bruce.
Hey, morning.
Good morning, Dominic.
Morning,
good morning to all you listeners and callers of 91.9 Titans of Democracy. Dominic and Bruce, let me tell you something, eh? We all spoke about this. We all knew that should they win, that the excuses going to start even before they sit down in the seat. It's an easy thing to make promises and say this and say that and make accusations, but when you get in the seat, it's a totally different kettle of fish. The PNM don't have to look for no excuses to come and say anything after this, you know. Just sit back and just listen. And the excuses will begin to come one after the next. Why they can't do this, why they can't do that, why they can't do the other. It is the same hymn book the UNC sang from in 2010. Think about it. $6 billion was left there for the UNC in 2010. What did they say when they came in? Remember all the promises they made to retirees about increasing the pension and this and that. Everything went to naught, because you know why? When you're not looking at money, it's all about money, and it's all about governance. They don't have the experience, they don't have the know-how, so they don't even know. The only thing they could do right now is bring the excuses. Just like Central, as I said yesterday, before yesterday, the goalposts will swing from left to right basis on how things looking and their know-how. There's nothing else for them to say or do. It's going to start to come. Just wait and see. Yeah, I'm inside the year, but you say it, I know money and and the PNM leave us leave them in a bad way and this. Really? How do you know that? And you see this thing about it that nobody questioning these people. I keep saying that over and over. You when you say anything, nobody questions them, nobody interrogates them, nobody trying to find out. But on what basis you making such statements? Where's your evidence? Nothing at all. It's going to be the same thing. And Watson is very good at that. And he will train the others to do the same thing. What do you think will happen? We just have to sit back and watch and see. You understand? There'll be many, many issues coming up. I said in the very, very... You only have 2 nights to sleep. I'm not telling you that. Just 2 nights. And look and see what's going to be happening. So we don't have to rush. They will say all and do all, and we will see what is happening. We'll see how they govern. They think it's going to be easy. All the promises they made to all these youths who expecting and have expectations and gracia payments for Christmas and all of these things they talk about, we will see. We will see how it patterns out. We don't have long to wait, partner. 1 more night and we good. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Thank you. Yes, Father. Caller, good morning.
Yeah, morning, Bruce. Morning, Dominic.
Morning.
Yeah, I'm calling to say that how Central and them really love Tobago, you know. I could remember when Tobago had voted for the PNM in, I think it's 2012. These people in Trinidad was telling people to go to Tobago, and they was condemning Tobagonians. They hate Tobagonians. Even Satmaraj and all the space, something like that, to go to Tobago. The Central all love Tobago now, They love Tobago. I've studied that in a time. Remember, they reflect about Tobago so much. They hate. And I want Central remember, he talking about PNM spend money. What about the big fest they was to have in 2013 when was Ashwajak remained and the first helicopter fly like that, even Ashwajak alone with all this amount of food and bills to pay. Central. I say, boy, they're really good in the Central. According to the caller just now, they're always moving the goalposts. But, as I say again, I wish them well. But what I know, a man like Watson Duke in him, together with Fali under pressure. I know that Fali is under pressure. And I want to say something. This talk, Dominic, this talk with them talking, I reality UNC using it, and even going for James, about dictatorship and bullying. These people really doesn't understand. Big bright people doesn't understand the meaning of dictatorship. I believe so. UNC like is a whole pack of guns. What is dictatorship? Putin in Russia, that's what they call dictatorship. These people don't understand dictatorship. When Kamala was in power, like how Vicky did get on, the Attorney General who they don't find Vicky already. So when Vicky and all of them talk about dictatorship, Dr. Roy, look how much things they say and even running them down. That you understand? I don't know. They do all kind of nonsense all about talking about dictatorship. These people clearly don't understand, or they're just pushing this word, and it's how the illiterati, as Dominic just said, following them with that nonsense stuff. They know it's dictatorship. If they really face dictatorship, plenty of them in trouble. They talk about dictatorship, and they open their mouth and talking and start garbage and degrading people. So, I want to say thank you all for giving me hearing, and I'll listen off here.
Yeah, man. Take care. Caller, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Dominic, you're saying good morning. I heard how you play earlier on. So, what do you expect? When Mr. Manning was there, they said, no highway, no byway. And when they get into office, and Singapore, under Dr. Eric Williams, we want to be like Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore dictatorship. And today, how many years after, the same people are telling you, and you understand central role. If they get the 2 seats and they decide the PNM in office, we're not voting for nothing. The same poor people that they tell themselves. So what do they expect? This is not about governance. I heard Julie John telling me how must about 20 years ago how much people used to come to Tobago. In them time was a different time to now by putting up a new airport. We living in a dream world in this place still, you know, fellas. We have to understand that these people is not about country. It's about the treasury and the jail that is possible in the times to come. And everybody is breaking the jail. As you outlined, Dominic, they can't point no finger of allegation of corruption in 7 years. Right? And a man called from Tobago to tell you we compare. We're not comparing it. They are comparing what we spend or what we did. But they did the very same thing. So the question is morality. And we didn't do what they do, you know. 2 different things. I see, up to now, they can't find Ashwa Jack or Delman Baker or Vanilla Allen Toppin. Bruce, thank you very much again and enjoy your morning.
Thank you, man. Take care. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Bruce.
Morning,
Good morning, Dominic. Morning to all the callers and listeners. Mano, good morning. Hear what? I told all you yesterday or the day before, Bruce, they're going to get squeezed. You ever buy a shoes, you see it and it look nice and you know it close on your foot and you still like it, you want it? Did you ever get banned from a tight boot? Here now, they turn behind. I saw a video where Duke walking through an area and they're telling him, we never see who's this guy from the one from Canaan, who was acting as the House of Assembly chief. Help me there. Dennis. We never see Dennis here. We don't walk in the back here. Someplace they were down in the area, in the lowlands area down there. And they walk in and they're showing them all kind of little ones. Say, look at that little old house. I built that. That's why I living in. Look at the state in the back here. We want government house. I don't know government does build houses and give them away. I know you have to be working to be able to afford a HDC payment when the month comes. So I watching the video, I see Duke telling the people, watch me in the face. Watch me straight in my face. My name is Watson Solomon Duke. You hear me? I am going to fix that. I'm fixing all this. And I'm saying, but look at the people, how, Tobagonians, all the let me down and all the disappointment and hurting. I can't believe that they're so gullible. How you fixing it? With what? And coming out to try a strategy, I'm waiting to see how this go pan out if PSA people taking this, you know. You want to stay there, you going to work for nothing? I don't believe that. And you can't work, you can't be 2 masters. You have to choose. And you see that between here and Fali, they're going to implode, you know. They will, I don't want to talk bad, but they're going to implode. You know why? Duke, nobody can rein he in. And he going to want to tell Fali, do so and so, say so and so. And knowing Fali, he's not going to take it. He's not going to agree with most of the things. You're going to see how much polling out will take place. I waiting, I sitting down and waiting. I'm buying plenty popcorn. And I'm rocking back. I'll go on. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'm in my Christmas parang mood, you know.
Very good, right? Quickly. I'll jump out there. The newly elected Chief Secretary of Tobago House of Assembly, Fali Chavez Augustine, has warned Tobagonians that they face a challenging financial start to their term in office, claiming that the former PNM administration left the incoming leadership a bit of thorns. A detailed interview with the Business Guardian about the PDP's economic plans for the island Augustine said those plans are to be tempered by the reality that Tobago is facing headwinds, and it has not helped. It was not helped by what he said was the profligate spending of the last administration. So yes, we are in quite a pickle, asking central government for more money. That is highly unlikely. It means we have to find ways to raise capital. We will have to rely heavily on the public-private partnerships. And given the state of the local private sector, we will have to rely on investors coming from outside of the borders of Tobago as well. So we just have to buckle down. I thought, let's say that the private sector in Tobago is supposed to relieve the stress of employment under the THA. See, let me be honest with you. I'm going to give you verbatim what I'm being told. As at the end of November, the THA received 43 million for the development program. At the end of November, the THA spent 53, and that's 9 million in the red. So we need to add to that the fact that the THA has been trying to source 66 million for all of those last-minute election projects that they had. That's a potential 75 million in the red, and they blah, blah, blah. So basically, I've already started to make the case that, well, the money that we thought we had to deliver on the promises, we don't. We vote for change. Isn't it the same thing we always say all the time? Anyway. Continue.
There's 8:30. There's a time when my whole mood has changed, and I just feel to just.
Who's less than I just put out in 10 minutes? So if you play a part, I able.
Dominic boy, in all honesty, I would say this, and this would be my let me see my final say on the whole thing. As has happened before, right? People were unhappy, so they decided they wanted to see what is better for them, and they did their civic duty, and they do what they needed to do to see a change to better suit them. So that out of that, I give maximum respect. Maximum respect. My thing is, I hope that, given this opportunity, that they really do the work that the people want them to do, the people are looking forward to them, doing, providing that change that the people were looking for, right? I really and sincerely hope that that is what they go there and do, and let me and all see that change, that change for betterment. So I give it the opportunity. Go brave. All the best. Don't let down the people. Don't put it that way. Don't let down the people. Don't disappoint the people. You have been given the opportunity to provide betterment. Then I say, please do so. We want to see nobody getting on with no pig head. We want to see nobody getting on with like no old bull. It's about the people. Let this time be about the people. Let it not be about individuality. Let it be about the people. So going forward, this is what I want to see. It had to be about everything that happens. It had to be all about and all for the people, nothing else. So I in my parang mode. I in my Christmas mode. I like my Christmas. I like my turkey. A lot of people have been calling and asking me if I would be working Christmas morning, as I have done for the past couple of years. I'm not sure. Management will let me know what's going on in that area. We will have our discussion as to that, and then as usual, we will let you all know what's happening for that particular morning, because I didn't even realize that Christmas was falling on a Saturday.
Right.
Yeah, so, and we don't really work these Saturdays. But we'll see what takes place, how it goes. Don't worry. We always have the listeners' best interests at heart. So, don't worry. We will see what's going on for Christmas morning, this 2021.
Yes, you're getting people accustomed to hearing you do your thing. You understand? So come on.
We see how it goes. Because I know my body have a whole difference when it's a Saturday. Couple mornings, Dominic. Saturday morning, if I jump up 3 o'clock, 3:30, just have something clouty man saying, hey, we know with you, today is Saturday. Close back them eyes and pull back that cover and we're going on with you.
Well, it's not like, you can't do it from Zoom.
No. Oh gosh. So we'll see what goes on. We'll see how it pans out. Right? And when I check in it, I say, for the past 5 years. Yeah. And you wouldn't believe I just enjoy that every year, you know.
Right.
Yeah, it is enjoy, and it's just the local stuff I play because the you know what, with the Facebook and the YouTube, we don't want to get flagged, so and then the local stuff covers the entire morning, and then I mean it's be fun. It's be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, we don't worry. I've been getting a lot of calls, and that's what make me realize that hey, Christmas is a Saturday morning. I didn't check. So hey. Well, so guys, as I say, the parang now start. So in a little while, Dominic will be exiting, and I will be playing that good, nice parang music for you, getting you into that mood. Because hey, the ham and the turkey and them, they won't cook themselves, eh? So I'm gonna look for I'll tell you, I'm gonna look for one of them turkey, you know. Yeah.
Well, I meat by? No, not me.
I'm gonna look for one of them. Believe you, let me tell you something. If I do get a turkey that big, I have to squeeze it into that big oven my mom has there. You see, between my brother, Brent Morning, them boys and them, Daddy and all, don't think that turkey lasting long. We gotta get a next one. That guy lasting long at all. Worst yet, if you see, when it finish, I slice it up nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, every time they pass, somebody go and take a fork and dip in that.
Right.
Yeah, them go and dip in that. That ain't staying. That he ain't lasting too long out there, you know. If you don't hide your share, you mightn't get none. Oh gosh. And well, to all the people that has been calling for pastels and stuff like that, to some of you, your stuff will be ready as soon as tomorrow. So
you're making pastel too?
Yeah, Mom does pastels every year. Chicken, beef, veggie.
You never tell me that.
You don't know that,
I find you moving like Sharon. You're moving like Sharon. Right.
Oh gosh. I will call you, Dominic. I will call you. I will call you. Bishop, give me a call, please, after the show. Bishop, give me a call, please. So, guys, so Dominic is making his way out, and I'm going to be giving you some of that parang music that you so love. So, as we say, Dominic.
Ciao. Sunday for me. Sunday, God's willing. Yeah, we'll be back. Sanchal and I have a date.
Oh gosh. Hey, guys, let me give you I'll give you the word for today now. Caregiver's blessing. I am grateful for your loving and compassionate service. People who take care of others hold a special place in my heart. They are guided by empathy and compassion as they give of themselves generously. I honor these selfless souls who help others feel less alone. I bless you I give thanks for your kind and compassionate spirit, for your gentle touch and thoughtful conversation. I give thanks that you lift the spirits of those in your care. You are a light of love in the world, a channel of healing and peace. Your hands are the hands through which spirit expresses. Your words are the whispers of spirit within you. You brighten the lives of those you tend to and those who love them. May your day be as bright as the love you share. May it return to you in abundant measure. I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. Matthew 25:35. So guys, keep it locked. Right here still, giving you that sweet parang music that you so love. So, Dominic, I will give you a call, my friend, or you can call me after the at your immediate convenience.
Well, I take my leave, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day and we'll chat on Sunday.
Yes, later.
Again. Yeah, well, I come to teach all about Paramount South. Let me explain it. Well, Christmas morning, I call in my friends. Say, bring your instrument, and yes, they got all of them. We making a plan. Who we hitting first, and what song we singing, and who doing the first, so that is Param. Yeah, where I come from. Param. Well, that is Param. We drinks in the hand. Param. Yeah, man. Well, on to the next house. I'm feeling nice. You have to leave the paper glass, but you can take the ice. We singing one more song because we don't stick. And well, we shake the neighbor gate with pure Parang music. Well, that is Parang. Hey, where I come from. Parang. Palo seco, yeah. Parang. Instruments in me hand. Parang. We hitting the 10th house. It's Parang with pace, but something smelling off, we know say in the people place. When I turn around to the man on the base, I notice he have dog mess on his shoes and his shoelace, but that is Parang. Hey, where we come from? Parang. Well, that is Parang. Want to understand? Parang. Yeah, man. House number 20. Can't remember our verse. I cannot hear the G-sharp cause the quattro string it pulls. Everybody real tight. I kick in the ground. When the man rock man, he fall down in the drain and nearly drown. Well, that is Parang. Yeah, where we come from? Parang. Is man and woman? Parang. We drinks in the hand. Parang. Yeah.
Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
DJ Bruce Wayne.
Para toda la plata loca, déjate de tonterías, que un manicomio su marido aquí, no ha pasado nada. María Antonia se dice perdón, jurado si quiere nada. Y le dice a su marido aquí, no ha pasado nada. María Antonia suelta loca, déjate de tonterías, de un manicomio y me quita la mano. María Antonia suelta loca, déjate de tonterías, de un manicomio y me quita la mano.
The parang music that you love. The music that you've grown to love. So guys, yes, I'm still right here in studio. At this time, I have to shift a bit. I have an obituary to do, and I will give you some more of that, sweet parang music, and then we will close off for this morning. So the Street 919 FM has been asked to announce the passing of Ian Worrell of 12 Fred Bill View Long Circular Road, St. James, who died on Tuesday, the 30th of November 2021 at the age of 61 years. He will be remembered as the son of Rudolph Worrell and Pearl Blanche Worrell, husband of Erica Worrell, father of Kamora, Leticia, Erisa, Keegan, Riron, Jenna, Dwight, Jason, deceased, and Afia, brother of Patsy, Frank, Carol, Keith, Doreen, Hayden, Junior, deceased, Sandran, deceased, grandfather of Zahara, Zakiah, Zayden, Zakida, Alicia, Ezekiel, Ethan, Nikolai, Aidan, and Sophia, relative and friend of many. The funeral service for the late IWER takes place on Friday, the 10th of December, 2021, at Ovlet Gospel Hall, 11 Bellevue Trace, Bellevue Long Circular Road, St. James, at 9 a.m., and thence to the Mukrapo Cemetery for burial. For more information, you can contact Simpsons Memorial Limited at 623-8688.
And right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.